We are back for our last session of this hour. You are listening to IBGR.network, and IBGR is a radio station, but of course we are so much more than a radio station. We're a group of amazing people around the world. I've got 40 odd amazing fellow hosts around the world who are there to help you with tips, tools, and ideas and insights to help you run your business better. And that is on a variety of areas. So you just have to go to the IBGR.network platform or into the app when you download the app to find out exactly all these different areas that you can listen into. And there's 24/7, there is something for each and every one of us, for each and every one of you to listen to. And also for those in your friends and acquaintances circles that are also entrepreneurs or thinking of becoming entrepreneurs, there is so much here. And of course, as I said already, we're also strategic partners with Cubimo, CUBIMO.com. You can also go to that platform and get a lot of information and insights about self-care, as I'm talking about just now, about money and mindset, about finances and so much more as well. So there is a few platforms that you should definitely have on your list of going to and learning from and getting insights in. But here we are, IBGR platform just now, an amazing platform. And as I said, my fellow hosts from around the world are stunning individuals, given their time to help you succeed in your business. And they're all entrepreneurs, by the way. So we are talking about choices and decisions in episode 9 here. And how are you looking after yourself is the question. And that takes choices and decisions. And it's not the same. I told you in the first session what the difference between choices and decisions are. You can download all the podcasts as well from all these sessions from the website or in the app as well. But you need to make choices and decisions about your health. And many of us, especially entrepreneurs and busy business individuals like CEOs and managers and leaders, we need to take decisions to take better care of our health. So I talked about a few areas already, and that was, I'm just giving some examples about eating habits, about physical exercise, about sleeping, and here I'm talking about mindfulness. Now, as I said, I took 2 days on my Facebook Lives at the Key Leadership Institute when I'm talking about all these different areas every single day of the week, 5 days a week. I took 2 days about mindfulness, and even then I touched on the surface of the subject, and here I'm going to touch on the surface of that surface. So you can go there. I'll put a link in the show notes as well. But mindfulness, it's an intriguing and interesting subject. But when we feel stressed and overwhelmed, it can often seem like we're living on autopilot, and we've all been there probably, but disconnected from the here and now and our present experiences. One remedy for this is mindfulness, which involves direct and non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. Be present in the moment. That's where mindfulness comes in. You may have heard of mindfulness as a form of meditation, but I can assure you that it's so much more, and it's also a general awareness of your life's experiences. So when you are mindful, you are awake. You're awake to life's terms, fully alive to each moment as it arrives, as it is, and as it ends. So not only when it starts or you are fully alive at each moment as it arrives, as it is, and as it ends. So there's a definition of mindfulness, which is an awareness without judgment of what is via direct and immediate experiences. Now, and I put a few examples, I looked for a few examples on this to give you an idea. So you eat dessert and you eat the dessert and you're actually noticing every single flavor you're tasting instead of eating the dessert while having a conversation and look around who you know. Because if you're being mindful, you're not thinking about if it's good or bad to have a dessert. You're just really having dessert. I hope that makes a bit of sense. Another one is if you take a walk in the park, you're actually walking in the park. So what does that mean? It means you let yourself show up in the park. You walk through the park aware of your feelings about the park, of your thoughts about the park, of how the park looks, the smells, the trees, the animals, the greenness of the grass, any flowers, or just the sensation of each step you take. Now, this is very different than taking a walk in a park and not showing up. Instead, walking through the park while you are distracted by thoughts of what you'll have to for lunch, or feeling towards a friend with whom you just had an argument, or who's going to pay the bills at the end of the month, all that kind of stuff. That's not a real walk in a park. Mindfulness is being here and in the now all the time. And that's very difficult, of course. But if you stop to think about it, you realize that very, very few people devote, and that includes me, we devote ourselves to living mindfully, meeting each and every moment of life as it presents itself with full awareness, letting go of judgments. Instead, we think automatically without ever noticing what we're doing. We're always ready to judge ourselves and others. We regularly do 2 or 3, even more things at once. We frequently get so caught up in our thoughts and feelings about the past or future that we're lost in them, disconnecting from what is happening right now, in the present, right in front of us. How often does it happen? So it is so important, and there is lots of rewards for living mindfully. See, we can get lots done quickly, but if we keep rushing, the rewards might seem different, because we keep going, and we just focused on the one thing. We don't be aware. We're not becoming aware of our surroundings or our environment, of what's happening right there. And people place a high value in the industrialized nations of doing as much as we can, when we can, and how we can, and maybe even do it all at once. But at what price? Mindfulness is something we should really take care of. So start to it's impossible to do it all the time, especially early on, but start by sitting down and relaxing for a few minutes and just breathing in, breathing out properly, in through the nose, through the stomach, and out through the mouth. Do that for 5 minutes and just relax and let things go. It's amazing how good you'll feel afterwards, and you can do that as often as you like. Part of mindfulness. And say there's so much more, but I want to also talk a little bit about the importance of me time. Now, what does actually matter to you? Have you ever thought about that and identified those items? Now, see, me time, it may seem easy, but it can be challenging to practice, because you need to ask yourself some thought-provoking and tough questions to identify the people and things that matter to you most. See, when the chips are down, who do you want to be with? How do you want to be remembered when you're gone? How do you want to make a difference in this world while you're here? And is the pursuit of material wealth worth the strained relationships you are leaving behind? See, your answer to this question should determine your approach to living. Spend more time with those you would love to be with, and intentionally live your life the way you want to be remembered. Keeping an eye on your priorities will help you make a decision about how you spend your time. What are your priorities? And then people often talk about leaving a legacy, about how they want to be remembered. Well, let us start by actually living our legacy first. Share the gift of you with the people while you're still living. Make that dash count. Then there is something about the practice of gratitude. The practice of gratitude is great for your spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. Too often we focus on the negatives while showing little appreciation for the beauty that's all around us. I hope that makes some sense. I mean, don't we often do this? Especially nowadays, we focus on everything that's wrong rather than the things that are right. In fact, waking up is a great thing already. So it's what happens to you when you have a bad breakup and all you can remember how bad it is, rather than the great moments. But we can show gratitude and appreciation for the little gifts of life. See, if you can adopt a gratitude mindset, you are on your way to achieving your highest level of self-care. And one great way to practice this is simply to start a gratitude journal and every day write 3 to 5 things in there you are grateful for every day. Then notice the change in you. It is amazing what that does. And of course, compassion was the 7th one, and I'll briefly talk into that as well. My partner Arthur Moore is writing a book about the has been instrumental in starting the transformation of an entire country, the beautiful country of Lebanon. Compassion is important. Compassion is a key ingredient needed to help others grow. It is an intrinsic part of our ability to truly connect at a deeper level with every person we interact with. So I've always been able to connect with people mostly at a superficial level. But once I started to understand compassion better, it really upped the way I engage with others on a very different level. See, a compassionate person comprehends, connects, understands, and accepts people for who they are and where they are in their journey. They then entice them to grow to the next levels of excellence in their personal and business life, and they do this by adding value in every way to guide, support, and share expertise and experiences to help that person in a meaningful way. Now, I've got a minute and a half left already, but there is so much more to this. But even compassion, because if you can be compassionate to other people, you will start feeling better yourself. It talks into significance. It talks into the good feeling we get of being more compassionate to other people and more interested and being more mindful when we do these kind of things. I hope this kind of helped you a little bit, and I hope you'll start making decisions, making better choices for your health, making decisions that will enable you to become healthier, because you're going to follow those decisions up with action. Make space in that diary of yours and start thinking about your health now, not when it's too late. I hope that makes sense. Now, after me, we've got Tina Ogbugo coming in from Nigeria very shortly, and then we have the amazing Arti, my partner, in as well. But you can connect with me on www.keyleadership.com or www.jrspeakersclub.com. There is so many things I can support and guide and help you with. All my details are on the website, so connect with me there. But I look forward to seeing you next week. Have an amazing week, and don't go away, because there's plenty more to come on ibgr.network. Take care.